Dave, Michigan football is disgusting to you. I understand that. That's why you're letting me lead this segment off. But I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about Michigan football and just where the program's at right now and where we're headed here in the next couple weeks and what maybe as fans we can kind of look forward to a little bit. And Dave, while all is not completely lost in my eyes, I think that it's important to remember um, where this team came into the season at, where they're at right now, and where they can finish. And where they can finish, at least Dave, is 7-5. I can see a way that this team can get to 7-5. I know Indiana's, we're heading to Bloomington this weekend. Um, Indiana is a much better football team than Michigan is right now, but they showed some fight against Oregon. They did hang in the game. We talked about with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you get the touchdown there. You cut it to 7. I don't think that this team is completely lost right now, Dave. I think there is some good things there that we can build on, and I wouldn't say that they have a puncher's chance this weekend, but you never know. I mean, did you think that there was anything good out of the Oregon game? I think it was better than what we thought we were going to get, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, if moral victories counted for anything, I would definitely chalk up a little bit of a moral victory, just because Michigan at least looked competent, and that's really all I can ask for right now, which is just horrible. That's like the state of the program this season, but they looked competent, and as a matter of fact, you could argue that. I know they lost by a few touchdowns, but you could argue that they were right in that game with the touchdown that wasn't really a touchdown, and then truthfully, Michigan just kind of shot themselves in the foot. I thought the coaching staff let them down. I mean, and the players didn't execute as well. We know there's injuries on defense. The secondary was set up to get absolutely torched. You absolutely cannot have Zeke Berry out there on Stewart, and you're out Jair Hill and Will Johnson. It was a recipe for disaster. They did their best. Michigan had their chances. They got to a point where I think it was the Oregon punted it. I remember this sequence of events. Michigan got the football, great field position, around the 50-yard line or so, and they couldn't do anything with it. It was a one-score game at that point. They go 3 and out. They punt it down, a great punt. Tommy Doman looks like he got a little bit of his juice back. Puts it on the 5-yard line, and then Oregon marches 95 yards down for a touchdown, which was an absolute morale killer. And then Kirk Campbell did something to me that is just fireable. And that is when you are at 4th and short and you draw up a play that is cutesy while you're still in the game, mind you. Like, the game was not over. I believe it was a 2-score game at that point. And you draw a play up for Samaj Morgan to throw a pass to Alex Orji and just get absolutely torched. And that's fireable. If that is what the best that we could march out there on that play, that's not it. And I'm highly disappointed there. And don't even get me started on Wink Martindale, man. Let's get to the end of the season, and he can, I'll show him the door on the way out. I know that this defense is banged up, but, they've been fully healthy, or at least pretty healthy a lot of the year, and he's done nothing with it. I don't have confidence that he is the guy. I think Sherrone Moore is saving himself and his job right now with the hype around the recruiting trail. But he's going to absolutely have to make some tough decisions. And after year one, some of these guys got to go. I think Kirk Campbell's in over his head. You want to keep him on staff? Fine. I know JJ loved him as a QB's coach, but some changes need to be made. That being said, Brandon, because you asked me, did I learn anything, or, my thoughts on it? I think this Michigan team is finally starting to at least show some fight. Show like they want to be there, show that they're a competent football team, because we haven't seen that all year. We've seen them come out and be undisciplined, look like not motivated at times, And I think that's slowly but surely getting better, which is really what I want to see at this point. I guess, Brant, I I don't see them beating Indiana. Could it happen? Of course it could. It's Big Ten football, and it's still Indiana. But they're undefeated for a reason. They've got a great quarterback, and they score a lot of points. I don't feel overly optimistic of winning this game. But I guess my question to you is: you got Indiana this weekend, then you've got a bye week, and then Northwestern, Ohio State. At this point, what is it that I don't even want to say salvages the season for you, but maybe salvages the season for you, or what is it that you want to see out of this team for the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, Dave, I think you nailed it when you said that line, cutesy cutesy. Like, don't get cute. Don't like run the football touchdown play. Like, like I just get so sick of this cute play calling, and you get your hand caught in the cookie jar. If you're first and goal from the 8-yard line, there's no excuse for you not to come away with at least points. And I understand why they didn't kick a field goal down there, down 2 scores with 8 minutes to go. I totally understand that. But then you better have your best 3 plays in front of that fourth down, and you better not run that fourth down play like that. So, with Indiana this weekend, I think Michigan's got a chance at this thing, Dave, and Dave, this will be a real interesting game for you to watch, because if you didn't think Wink Martindale looked very good against Texas, Indiana runs a lot of the same stuff. It's going to be like the same offense. Curtis Rourke is really good, man, and I'm talking like NFL good. So it'll be like the same type of offense that Texas runs. So we will see if Wink has learned anything, and if this defense can make the adjustments that's necessary to hang around in this game. I know that you have little faith, and I do too until I see it. But I think that if you're going to show progressions, you need to show it this weekend for sure. And then, yeah, the only thing that will avoid disaster, Dave, is not losing to Northwestern at home. And that salvages your season to me, Dave. If you can beat Indiana and beat Northwestern, if I told you that coming into the season that you were going to end up salvaging your season by beating Indiana and Northwestern, you would have been, pretty upset. But say you win those 2 games, you hang tough with Ohio State, whatever. At least you put out a good showing. That would be really nice. And you land Bryce Underwood. That's the key the key component here that is keeping Michigan fans really intrigued in this year is if we can just hang in there, make a bowl, and then we have Bryce Underwood waiting in the wings for us. That would just be an absolute, cherry on the top of this season that we would be looking forward to next season for sure. And my parting thought on Indiana this weekend, Dave, is if we can just learn from our mistakes and put out a better showing than whatever we had against Texas, I will be so happy with Wink Martindale. And I haven't been happy with him all year. But if he can show progressions and they can get off the field on third downs and they don't give up easy plays, I will come away impressed. And I think Wink's coaching for his job this weekend, Dave, personally. I think it needs to be that way.
I'm not convinced he wants to be here. I'm serious. I think that Wink Martindale was, yeah, we know he's the quote unquote godfather of this defense, that Mike McDonald and Jesse Minter, came off that coaching tree with the Ravens. But the reality is that Wink Martindale has not been successful in the NFL for quite some time. It did not work out in New York for a reason. I think the game is passing him by. I really do. I think I know Michigan made him the highest paid defensive coordinator in all of college football to come here. And I get the attraction of and I understand the entire idea behind it. I do. I was thrilled. If we were going to lose Jesse Minter, who is just clearly in a whole league of his own, if you're following, the Chargers' journey with Harbaugh and all of that, Wink Martindale was an ideal replacement, but it has not worked. There's nothing, to be very honest with you, there's nothing that I really need to see at this point. I need to make it through the end of the year. I'm hoping that these guys are first round draft picks that are on this defense, your Will Johnsons, Mason Grahams, maybe Kenneth Grant. I would love to see those guys stay healthy and end on a good note. The one thing, and I'll leave with this. The one thing that salvages the season to me is it's not 6-6, it's not 7-5. It is something crazy in Columbus, and I'm telling you that if something crazy happens in Columbus this year, and this pitiful Michigan team in the first year under Sherrone Moore goes in and beats the Buckeyes, who, by the way, don't look all that dominant or all that great with the loaded roster they have. To send Ryan Day on out of Ohio State because he's getting fired. That happens. That's what saves the season for me. Outside of that, yeah, sure. Beat Northwestern, I guess, and go land Bryce Underwood. That's all I got.